Well, we are already partway through the beginning of the year, and you might have already fallen off of your goals and plans for this year. I know, it's really demotivating. It's called Quitter's Day, so they call it. So, are you a quitter? Or have you just lost your motivation for continuing with your personal health and wellness goals? Well, I'm here today to tell you about 3 easy ways to uplevel your wellness. My name is Jenny Jett, and I'm the owner and founder of Sipping Streams Tea Company, and we specialize in tea education. However, our company core values are about improving the health and wellness and the personal growth of people in our community. So, with that, and our passion and mission, which is help to grow people to know who they are, that is our main focus. And that's why I'm sharing with you today 3 easy ways to uplevel your wellness. Now, did you notice how I said we're going to uplevel your wellness? And I didn't say health and wellness? Because one of the biggest things that people think about is that it's all about the doing. So when you're measuring health has to do with measuring your heart rate, your weight, your percent body fat, your blood sugar levels. It's all the do's that you have to do. The do's and don't do's and all the numbers. But is that really successful to hone in just in your numbers? Well, it is important to hone into your numbers. However, at the same time, it can be incredibly discouraging, like many of you have felt this few weeks into the new year. So, in order to motivate you for the new year and new you, I want you to think of how you're going to uplevel your wellness. Wellness is all encompassing. It has to do more than just your measurements of your personal health. So, when we think about wellness, it includes health. It includes health. So, think of bigger, think more of how broad wellness encompasses. It has to do with your community. It has to do with your mental health. It has to do with your emotional health. It has to do with all the everyday details, which are just so demotivating to measure. So, in order to think about wellness, it's really easy as 1, 2, 3. You have to think about mindfulness, community, and reflection. Now, those are pretty broad things that I'm talking about. Mindfulness, community, and reflection. That means a lot. So, just taking small steps to think about those things is going to already encourage you, motivate you, and make wellness a more positive thing. And it's exciting because you see how many things connect through wellness. So let's go with number 1. Number 1 is mindfulness. You might have heard that a lot. Some of you practice mindfulness with meditation, with prayer, with yoga. Those are just some examples that you might use for mindfulness. But mindfulness to the core has to do with awareness of the very moment that you're experiencing. So, for example, today you're listening to this episode about 3 ways to uplevel your wellness. And you're aware of how you're feeling, how you're thinking, and it's a lot of emotions, but it also has to do with a lot of analytics of evaluating your present state. Now, what does that mean exactly? It could be, how are you feeling about me motivating you about wellness? Okay. It could make you upset because you're discouraged, or it could be like, oh, I didn't think about that. So it's bringing awareness to the very moment that you're experiencing whatever it is. If you have a hard day at work, and that day has to do with a coworker who's agitated you or is gossiping, at that moment, you recognize that you feel agitated and upset. Totally fine. That's exactly what mindfulness is being aware of your current state of what you're experiencing when you're experiencing it. When we push those things aside, we oppress those feelings, those emotions, and we're oppressing our mental health, actually, the measurement of how well our mind is doing. and our emotional care for ourselves. We're repressing those things when we choose not to be mindful, when we don't want to deal with it, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. I just don't have time to deal with this right now. So you blow it off until one day it comes out in other ways. An explosion at your kids. It could come out as, and you get sick often. And that's going, that lack of wellness in the mindfulness space is because you have not taken care of things. Just the simple act of mindfulness. So number one was mindfulness. Number two is community. Community has to do with the people who are around you. Now, community does not have to be your friends, okay? It doesn't even have to be your friends. It could literally be the city that you live in and the way that it's laid out and how the traffic flows. And it could stress you out because you're sitting in traffic for a total of 4 hours a day, 2 hours each way to work, and you're a little overwhelmed or upset, or you don't know how to think, right? Because you're behind. You're behind, and there's nothing you can do because you're sitting stuck in traffic. You can't take care of things. So community could be your environment, it could be your town, it could be your friends, it could be your family, it could be your coworkers. All of those things are community. And your wellness, your overall encompassing wellness, has to do with the people that you're around. Sometimes it's by personal choice, and sometimes it's not so much about personal choice. But in the end, it is your personal choice of what you want to do with it. And when you do not accept that it is really your own personal responsibility and personal choice, you're not being mindful about your emotions. Again, repressing that side of your health. Remember, health is a measurement. Those are measurements that will be affected in your blood pressure levels, right? In your lack of sleep. Those are measurements. So, are you seeing how wellness is really so much bigger than just health? And so the community can be really important for you to be encouraged and to be uplifted into your personal goals. Now, your personal goals might not be the same as your best friends, as the same as your coworkers, right? But you are the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. And when you think about the people that you surround yourself with the most, and you go to an actual physical job and you work amongst people, those are probably the people that you're around the most, not your children, because if you're gone from them, most of the time, then that's not true for you. However, some of you are homeschool parents, homeschool moms, and so you are surrounded mostly by your immediate family. So if your community does not allow you to grow and be excited and to learn more, right? Excuse me. If they don't encourage you to learn more and to be observing and personally developing, then it's not as healthy of a community, right? So community doesn't just have to be your best friends, your parents, your family. It can be literally your town, the type of environment you're around, your coworkers, okay? So number 2 will be thinking about and reflecting on the community. The community influences that. So how are you going to up-level that? How are you going to up-level your wellness through community? By proactively seeking positive community to counterbalance that. The yin and the yang and feng shui, that all has to do with balance. So if you're not really in a very good community, you need to find a positive community. So being part of a positive community, whether virtually, whether whatever groups you have, or whether in person, it is very, very important for up-leveling your wellness, your overall being of everyday life. And it will be a very important factor for motivating you. And the third thing to consider, and that's going to help you, the third tip or way that's going to help you up-level your wellness, is reflection. So reflection is a way that goes back to mindfulness, but not just that. Reflection also has to do with gratitude. It has to do with a measurement of personal growth. And that can be motivating or demotivating. It's all how you spin it. And that choice is really up to you. So in order to up level your wellness this year, you will need to reflect even on hard things and to proactively, that means requires action, decisions, self-proclaiming what you're going to do, not just saying goals and wishing pie in the sky things and not doing anything about them. You need to have baby steps. So reflection is going to help you understand why you're not getting to the goal that you want to get to. So if you've already understand exactly what I mean about Quitter's Day is this week, Quitter's Day is the day that most people, whatever types of New Year's resolutions that they've had and they've done them for the first week of the new year, they have now completely given up on them. And it's probably because they have not been mindful, thinking about the positive community that they're around or need to be around, and they probably have not reflected of why they failed. But the truth about it is that you never truly fail. You always have another chance. Now, that failure can be prolonged by months and years of inaction, or that quote unquote failure can be shortened by changing the way that you're doing things now, by making a decision right now and changing it every moment of every day, every second, every hour. You have a chance to change that for yourself. You do. You cannot make excuses for someone else's influences on your life when you get to choose the community that you're in. When you choose to maybe have to counterbalance it with a more positive community of what you need to feed your soul so that you can be healthy enough for the people you need to serve. For example, your family, right? And when you're grieving a loss, a traumatic injury even, you have to, even more importantly, reflect on these three things of mindfulness, community, and reflection. Going back to reflection, which starts you in the circle again of being mindful, community, reflection. Mindfulness, community, and reflection. It's a cycle that keeps going round and round. So reflection also doesn't just have to do with analyzing things, but it has to do with gratitude. Recognizing and claiming the small wins. When you do not measure any of the small wins, you will not be motivated to see that there is a possibility of progress in your life. Positivity increases progress, but if you choose not to recognize the positive things that happen, you definitely will not continue making progress moving forward. So I hope that really helped you out. I have a great opportunity to share with you today about an amazing opportunity to do all three things, to help you with mindfulness, to help you with community, and to help you with reflection so you can up-level your overall wellness. And that has to do with our Tea Wellness Retreat that is coming up at the end of March. So I invite you to come check this out. The link is below, but this is exactly what we are focusing on. We are focusing on mindfulness. We're focusing on the community of people who are in the same exact situation as you. And we are focusing on reflection so that we can up level and do the cycle again of higher and higher improvement of overall wellness. Now, when you have improved wellness, you will have improved health. So, what are the bottlenecks that you have that is stopping you from your own self-improvement? So, Our tea wellness retreat is happening here in Alaska. It is definitely a destination retreat, whether you live locally here in Alaska or far away. And this is literally a once in a lifetime opportunity. Give yourself the gift of wellness, a vacation that will rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. And yes, there will be northern lights at that time, whether it's cloudy or not, I'm not exactly sure, but that is a total possibility because northern lights happen all the time here. And here you will feed your soul, nourish your body, enlighten your mind under the beauty and nature of Alaska. It is a 2-day unforgettable wellness getaway and retreat with in-depth tea instruction, and you'll be able to explore nature like never before. We will be soaking in the natural minerals of the Chena Hot Springs pool. We will be also feeding our bodies with good nourishment and health with other people. First of all, the community is going to be amazing. The community of people who are going to feed your emotional health, your mental health, your clarity, to be able to encourage you because of what they're going through too. It's a very intimate experience, this tea wellness retreat. There will be tea harvesting and hand rolling experience from the only geothermal power tea farm in the entire world, and from an 11-time international award-winning tea company. You'll be able to learn how to grow your own tea plants. You'll be able to hand roll them. You'll be able to process them and make literally your own tea from start to finish. There is an in-person matcha workshop, and you'll be able to learn firsthand in person why matcha is so powerful for the health benefits. We'll even have a matcha stone wheel so you can grind your own matcha for the very first time, because we're flying 2 of our matcha producers from Japan to this retreat and this exclusive once in a lifetime rare occasion. We'll also be exploring your creativity that's just ready inside to be released by experiencing art inside of this amazing landscape of beauty this time of year. And you'll be learning how to make pigments out of different teas and doing some painting. I'm not the best painter, but I know that no one's going to judge me here because it's all about what I am going to get out of this and how I can be encouraged by the other people around me, and then also how I'm going to be giving in this intimate community. So we're going to be practicing mindfulness, community, and reflection throughout this 2-day retreat. Included experiences are going to be relaxing in the world-famous Chena Hot Springs Resort pool, nourishing our body with a world-class tea tasting, enlightening our mind with world-class ice sculptures, up-leveling our olfactory experiences with cheese and tea pairing, and connecting with passionate people at our welcome tea cocktail or mocktail reception the night before. So if you want to arrive the night before, we would love to connect with you, and we want to meet all the people. Now, people are already signing up for this retreat, and it is very limited in this intimate setting and at this villa that we're renting. So please check out our page, and the dates are March 25th to the 26th. Transportation from the host hotel to the villa and then to the Chena Hot Springs Resort will be provided. Lunch and snacks are provided each day, and you can learn more by registering here. But definitely check out this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Gift yourself a wellness vacation that will rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit, and apply those 3 key ways that I just talked about onto how to up-level your overall wellness, which is going to pull in your personal health also. And it all starts with being proactive and choosing right now to make a decision to make a change. Every day we can fail, and every day we can pull ourselves up. So we designed our first ever tea retreat that's going to motivate you and be absolutely life-changing. So sign up today. Spaces are running out, so make sure you sign up right away. And if you're interested, on that page, there is also a payment plan too. If you have any questions at all, you can feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at hello@sippingstreams.com, and I'll see you soon.